Warning. The following episode contains extreme spoilers about the film Hereditary. Hello? Yes, hi. Do we know each other?
It's All Been Done presents.
Oh, hey, Jimmy, I'm glad you're here. Are these people with you? You know, the, older people there in the corner. Yes, hi, I see you. Don't have to keep waving. No? Well, since they were naked, I thought maybe you were doing a revival of Fully Exposed or something. No? Not, well. All right, well, that's not very helpful.
It's All Been Done presents.
All right, fine. It's All Been Done Radio Hour is a modern, geeky, scripted comedy in the style of old-timey radio. The next live recording show at Mad Lab Theater is Saturday, March 9th at 4:30. And following the show at 8 p.m. is the full-length play Happy Pills, part of Mad Lab's sci-fi season. And following that, at 10 p.m., it's a bonus IABD live show. It's All Been Done Radio Hour Classic. For additional details and advanced tickets, go to madlab.net. And please subscribe to It's All Been Done Radio Hour, the podcast, on iTunes. And support us at patreon.com/IABD. Anyway, I don't suppose you can take them with... well, he's gone. Welcome to Marianne's Macabre Review.
Hello, folks, and welcome out to Marianne's Macabre Review. Today we have Jessica.
Hello.
J. Keith Jackson. And myself. I'm Marianne, and welcome to our Hereditary podcast. Jessica, you want to give us a synopsis of Hereditary?
Yeah, I do. So, Toni Collette, everyone's favorite Australian female. Her mom dies.
Nicole Kidman.
Toni Collette, I said what I said.
I didn't realize Toni Collette was Australian, I don't think.
She sure is. She's great at hiding it.
Yeah?
She's better at hiding it than Nicole Kidman is.
That's a given, alright.
That is the measure of a good Australian.
Yeah.
The ability to hide from being from Australia, I guess.
Yeah.
Watch Muriel's Wedding, everyone, if you want to see her be super Australian. So, her mom dies. She's a mother of two, married to Gabriel Byrne. Shit starts going hinky. And the whole time you're just trying to figure out, is this real? Is this just fantasy?
Are we caught in a landslide? Are we trying to escape from reality?
We don't know. Things start going nuts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're saying shenanigans happen?
Shenanigans.
Oh my gosh.
And you don't know if they're real or not until the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then, spoiler, they're real.
Okay.
I don't feel like I doubted the reality of what was happening very much.
Huh.
Well,
it wasn't what it appeared to be in certain cases, but I felt like something was definitely supernatural.
They spend a lot of time telling you about how much mental illness is in this family and all of that. So I think they're trying to lead you towards
thinking.
Is everyone just having a collective breakdown because of all the bad shit that keeps happening? Or
Mom
is something
dies.
actually going on?
Daughter dies.
Horrifically.
Go ahead, Keith.
Well, it fits in the sense that my overall comment about the movie is that it kept zagging in ways that I didn't expect. Well, there were like maybe two.
Of zigging.
Yeah, well, there were like 3 or 4 sections or segments of the movie, or sections of things that are happening, where you think it's going to be this type of movie. Starts off with the quirky little girl, essentially, and you're like, okay, great, we're just going to have this movie about this little girl and her experience with the supernatural and whatever, and then, nope.
Psych!
Yeah.
That's where I had to pause the movie and just message Marianne saying, OMFG. what the...
I was texting Dallas when I first saw it, because he was the only one I knew who had seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Dallas, what the fuck? He was like, keep going!
That's a good Dallas.
Yeah, so then you think it'd be that kind of movie then, and then it... But no, it is about ghosts or something, because of the seance that this well-meaning woman seemingly introduces the mother to, and... But no, it's really not that either. That was all a scam.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so...
Yeah, the first time I watched this alone in my room, in the dark, when it got to the point... Because they give you, like, a hint that she is allergic to peanuts or whatever it is. It's peanuts, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And, you know, she can't breathe.
She started having an allergic reaction.
Yeah. Started going into anaphylactic shock. And her brother, you know, snaps out of his dumb teenage bullshit that he's doing. Mm-hmm. And is like, oh, shit. I need to get her out.
Get her to the hospital.
Gets her out. Could have called 911, but probably in his teenager brain is like, I can get her there fast. Yeah, his high brain.
Yeah.
I can get her there faster. Because, I'll be honest, even grown-ass adults do that shit. My father. And when she, you know, they keep hinting like, oh, this is not going to go well. It's not going to go well. And then when she fucking dies, because her head slams into the pole and gets decapitated... I was so shocked that I started crying.
Huh.
Like, I was so surprised that it had happened. I started crying, and I just kept thinking of the brother. And I was like, thinking about my little brother. And what it would do to me if that happened, if this happened and it happened to my little brother. And I was just like, he has to live with this for the rest of his life. Turns out that's not that long, but I was just like, oh my god. I cried for like a solid 2 minutes. I was just like, oh god. Oh.
See, I watched it with Jessica and in a dark room, and it was my first viewing, her second viewing, or third or fourth second. And so she caught more things this time.
I did. I was able to.
Yeah, and I saw some things that I was like, what is that? Why is there writing on the wall? And it was all, probably this whole house was like a little demon trap or something.
It was, and almost everything that they encounter is planned by those people.
Yeah.
Because at the funeral at the beginning, it's all those naked people at the end. How Toni Collette is like, I'm seeing all these new faces, and to be honest, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here. My mom would be real damn suspicious of all you people popping out of the woodwork. But I was able to look at them when I watched with Marianne, and they are all the naked people at the end. That's who they are. And I was just like, oh. Wow, this makes more sense now.
Yeah, a lot more.
To jump ahead all the way to the end, before I forget to ask this question of probably Jessica or either of you, really. I noticed they call the boy Charlie after he's been inhabited. So, man, there's I guess too many parts of this question. I feel like I need to start further back. So, all right. So first of all, was the girl named Charlie at birth, or was it?
Yes.
So, from watching it, she was supposed to be a boy.
Right.
Which is why you see that thing with Charles on it. It's supposed to be a boy.
Ah.
And...
I thought that was just a thing their grandmother was saying, I wish you were a boy because I needed to do this. And you just gave me this.
And the fact that she keeps saying, I wish you were a boy, is because they say, oh, you're welcome, Paimon, da-da-da-da-da. Paimon is a demon.
Right.
One of the 8 princes of hell. They were not making shit up there. He prefers male bodies. So, from what I've been able to gather, that clicking thing is something that's associated with him.
In real life?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, in mythology, it's associated with him. So, he was born into Charlie. Charlie was a girl.
And that's been his anathema this whole life. Don't ever, he's looks like a girl in all of his pictures.
Yeah.
He's very effeminate, and he doesn't like that at all.
Yeah, he prefers male bodies. So, the whole end game here was to get rid of Charlie, which is what they did. So that shit's all somehow manufactured, I'm guessing. Or it's like, this is our opportunity. And at the end, whenever the light flashes into somebody, because what he does is he will go into the most vulnerable host. So every time the light goes near, so when Toni Collette's husband catches on fire and she's like, ah, and then she goes like click, and she's dead inside because the light goes whoosh.
And that's the demon
He's
taking
inside
control.
her, and that's how she can fly and shit. And then when he jumps out the window at the end, he's now the most vulnerable host. You can debate if he died, and
I don't think he did.
he's out of there,
Yeah.
but he's the most vulnerable host now. And so the light came down and was able to enter him. So Charlie is Paimon, is what they're telling us in this.
So, I remember Toni Collette, for lack of a better name that I can think of at the moment.
Mom.
Mom.
Some of her exposition says something to the effect that she let her grandmother or let her mother have that child in a sense to get her hooks into. I wonder at what point Paimon went into.
Charlie was at birth.
I think it was birth, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's why she dotes on her so much. But the way it sounds is she went back to her mom during her pregnancy, so her mom was probably doing her seance-y business to make sure it happened.
Yeah.
And so that calls into question everything Toni Collette says in the grief meeting, where she's talking about her dad was so depressed and he just stopped eating, and her brother killed himself because he had a schizophrenic episode or something like that. It calls into question if anyone in her family actually has mental illness, or if it's the grandma trying to bring forth Paimon
into a male host.
Yeah, and messing with them to the point where she drove them to this behavior, or they figured out what she was doing. Because don't they say that he said people were after him, or he saw demons or something? And they're all like, oh, well, obviously he's just nuts, turns out.
Put the voices in his head
Yeah.
and a suicide note.
Yeah. So it turns out they may not have actually had any kind of mental illness. They could have just been messed with by the grandma.
Yeah.
So, going all the way back to the thing I was asking about the end of the movie, why did they call him Charlie instead of Paimon right away?
Maybe they are one
said,
and the
"Hey,
same at this point.
Hi, Charlie. Now you're in this body." So then we're to assume that he'd been in the girl's body for the entire portion of the movie that we saw.
I think
words.
so. Or he was reborn as her. And I like we reject the Trinity, but the whole thing is done up to look like Jesus.
Yeah.
With Charlie's head on top of it. Which I didn't realize that was Charlie's head until Marianne was like, oh, it's Charlie's head on there. I was like, oh, I thought it was just some weird turnip head that they made.
Well, Marianne, this time through, when Jessica came over to our house, I was rewatching a few things myself for the second time to be able to refresh my memory on what had happened. And toward the end of the movie, Marianne was sitting closest to the TV and noticed a few things that we couldn't see as well,
there were penises everywhere. So I
thought they were covering up well enough.
Certainly not. There was some definitely old man peen hanging out, and I just could not.
Titties.
And old lady titties, which are a little bit better than bean, at least. I mean,
what's even better is the old lady titties creepily waving
Yeah.
at you, hi! And you're like, no!
Flirty high, and not even yeah.
Remember me when you're Paimon?
So then,
But I think it's the nudity is associated with pagan rituals, things like that.
you would think that would be a selling point for many people, but
Apparently
maybe
it
not.
only hits a certain group of people.
Maybe not from this brochure that they would make from this movie. This would probably not sell me on wanting to join their gang.
No. And I didn't notice until seeing the clip again. Because, they have Grandma's headless body and Mom's headless body kneeling at the foot of the statue with Charlie's head on it. And he, looks around at them, and he turns back around, and then they are turned, they are turned to face him now.
Yeah.
Magically.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ew, that's
sure.
double creepy.
I wasn't sure if that was it just...
Camera shot?
Yeah, the angle was confusing me, whether or not he walked in front of them and was...
I don't know.
Because you could see the person in the background moving and putting the crown on his head.
Oh, that's right. She took the crown off the head and put it on his head, and then the next shot is
turned around.
And
I was like, ew.
Did they not dig up Charlie's body? Because I just saw Grandma and
I
Annie's.
think just her head.
That's all you really needed anyway, I guess. It had been removed and...
Yeah. Fun times there.
So, to, I guess, go back over some of those segments that were surprising to me. So the first segment, it just didn't really... It's hard to tell what they were going for. Something to do with probably the grandmother. You're assuming that there's going to be some supernatural aspect that has to do with the grandmother's death. Maybe her spirit is going to haunt them or something.
I feel like she was the sacrifice or something needed to... start all of this.
That may be it. And I'm just going for my perception of what was going on at the time. And I thought it was going to be the quirky little girl being the one who can see what's going on and them having to do whatever. And nope, she gets beheaded, shocking me to the point where, as we were saying, I had to stop the movie and go, what is going on? And the acting in that was just incredible in certain places. I wasn't sure how I felt about the son for a bit, and then just that scene of him driving home and just laying there.
Well,
was
and
just
in shock.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so palpable.
Yeah, and just unable to deal with what just happened. So his mind just blanks over it, and he's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And just drives home.
Yeah.
But, Toni Collette is so good in this movie. Her screams when she finds the body... And, you don't see her, you just see his face still in shock. And her screaming, and then it transitions to her, rocking on the floor, and her husband just trying to keep it together for her. And she's like, I just want to die. Everything hurts. And I was like, oh my God. I can feel that inside me. Oh, she was so good.
Yeah, that was a really good scene.
Everything she did in this, she was phenomenal. And she did not get an Oscar nom for Best Actress, and I'm very pissy about it.
Yeah. She seems like I'm going to turn this light out because it's flickering behind you.
She did a lot of 0 to 60 stuff that was really good.
Her, flip after her husband dies from her, what? And I was like, oh God, Toni Collette. You're amazing.
Did you ever watch her in the United States of Terror? Or watch a couple seasons of that?
I have not seen that one.
That was a good, a good showcase of things, of the different characters that she could flow into. It was kind of reminiscent of that for me. Something else. Oh, this is a good time for a PSA about drugs. So, the brother at the party just getting high and driving home and all that, and you would think that would be like a night of just staying awake in shock in your bed would be like, I feel like I'm just going to not smoke pot for a while. But no, at some point, I'm not sure how far ahead in the future this was, days, weeks, whatever, he's still back at school, getting high with his friends during school.
Yeah.
Just...
That's like...
I feel...
Yeah. He starts freaking the fuck out. Oh, no, yeah, he spaces out, and they're like, are you okay?
And then he starts thinking that he's choking, sort of like the allergic reaction. Which made me wonder if something was... It almost made me think that maybe there was something supernatural about the way that Charlie was choking. Was it really peanuts, or...
Yeah, she has a peanut allergy. Her mother says that at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then there was peanuts in the
And there were peanuts in the cake that they gave her. She's like,
walnuts
oh, look, cake.
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah.
But we're assuming that, right?
No, I think they say it.
You see it when they cut into the cake, because as soon as they did it, I was like, there's nuts in that.
Ah.
Yeah.
And
But I think you're onto something with the marijuana. Like, that's the next time we see him do the drugs, right? And then he starts having a panic attack, and we don't see him do it anymore.
yeah.
So I wonder if it's like the guilt sends him into a panic attack.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. So let's see what happened after that. Oh yes, the mother's or the grandmother's friend, probably, which we realized later on.
Joan.
Yes, Joan. Yeah.
Fucking Joan.
I was
this shit.
I was convinced. I was like, okay, this seems legit to me. I guess this seems to track. Look at the nice little boy drawing through them. But I love the reactions at the time too. I'm just sorry for the audience. I'm jumping around here a bit. This nice older woman finds her from therapy and says, "Hey, I feel so great now. I'm so happy because somebody taught me how to contact my dead son."
My dead grandson.
Or grandson, yes. See here, all you have to do is follow these careful instructions and look at this. And Toni Collette's reaction was about, I think, the way that I would react to under those circumstances.
Bye!
It was like,
Yeah,
what?
thank you very much.
No!
Thanks for never talking to you again. Bye.
And yet she figures, let's give it a try anyway.
Oh, fuck, I would not.
Oh,
I would not.
And the brothers reacted to that too, just sobbing like, make this fucking stop.
Yeah.
He does really good.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yep.
And I liked that they showed him crying, because it's like, this would fuck you up.
Yeah, they showed him crying multiple times, and I really like that they didn't just shy away from him being like the stoic masculine man.
Yeah.
He's a kid. His sister died. He was the cause of it, and he's dealing with that, and that would cause someone to cry. And when he was with his mom at the end, mommy, I was like, oh.
Well, I thought the crying was more about him being just terrified by this.
Well, yeah, that
this
too.
Spirit fucking
But
up the
how
house. It's
often
like,
do you
what is
see-
going on?
You don't usually see, even in horror movies, like, you see people like, ah, but they're not really crying.
Mm-mm, no. Jessica, what did you think of the movie?
I loved this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
I thought this movie was okay. I enjoyed watching it with Jessica, but I left the movie going, this is not what I expected. The entire movie, Jessica can attest to this, I kept saying, I don't know where this is going. And she's like, and you're not going to! And I kind of went into it expecting something a little bit more.
Something more hereditary.
Maybe. Something. The whole demon thing kind of was like, oh, for me, a little bit of a letdown, but it was a good surprise. So, I mean, I loved all the acting in it. I liked the music in it. This movie was not for me. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. That's how movies are. Some people like movies, some people don't. And there's no reason to be mad about it. Or to be, mean. So
I'm being a dick to you about not liking this movie that much?
No, any movie. If I say I like something and someone's like, I hate it, and only kindergartners like movies like this, is like, okay. So if I say I don't like something, I don't want it to seem like I am the all-knowing, because I didn't like it, no one else must like it. I just want to clarify that. Whenever I say I like something, there's usually someone always that says they hate it. And I'm wrong for liking it so much. Justice League is a perfect example of that, where I loved that movie, and I felt like I got personally attacked multiple times during a podcast about it. So I was like, okay.
It's like me with Bird Box.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to do a podcast about that too. Bird Box. Pretty good movie. I liked it. I thought that was that's a perfect example. Everybody shit upon it because it is, I don't know why y'all like it so much. Keith has a theory on that. Is that
I don't remember my theory.
your theory is that it was backlash because everyone said it was so good. So now everyone had to say, I hate it because all these other
my
people...
thing is, I had not seen anyone say it was good. And then everyone was like, everyone says this was so good, but it sucked. And I'm like, who said it was good? I said it was good.
Yeah.
No one else has on my Facebook feed, so I don't know who the fuck you guys are looking at.
Well, yeah, that's just it. We have all these weird intersections between people, and so it was always expressed in that kind of backlashy sort of way of, and well, you said this is, people think this is good, but let me tell you, it is not. You're wrong if you think this is good.
Yeah.
And why can't you just
let people enjoy things?
Right.
Is what I like.
I mean, I can't say I never do it. I just did it a few minutes ago. But there are some movies that is truly baffling to me why anyone would like them.
Well, say, but there's
But I didn't say, like, they were
stupid.
dumb for liking
Yeah.
it. I don't think I did. I might have. I might be being hypocritical right now.
all right. We all have our slips. Certainly.
Sorry.
We all have our things we don't get into. Whatever. It's just I would like to be more mindful about it. And I would like to tell other people to be more considerate about the kinds of things. People put a lot of work into these projects.
They do.
And
So that's why I say what I said.
yeah.
I like with House of Haunting Hill. No, gosh darn it, that's the wrong name. Haunting of Hill House. The book is not my cup of tea, but I have a lot of friends that are like, this is the best, most scariest book ever. And
Have you read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
those pictures will haunt your nightmares.
Yeah.
So, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm not going to bash something because it's, because I don't like it.
Right.
That doesn't mean everyone should agree with me.
Well, I mean, I probably agree with you to some extent. I mean, I was. If somebody asked me if I liked the movie, I would say yes. If we're really getting into it, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say how I was feeling from moment to moment in it. But I think overall, I value being that surprised in the way that I was surprised over anything else. I didn't really have any expectations going into it, which certainly helped. But, well, I mean, even that's not quite true. I mean,
It's called Hereditary. So
I felt like there's... Well, I mean, I don't know if that really tells you anything about what the movie is supposed to be about or whether it's supposed to be a certain type of horror movie. But my point is that I must have had some expectation because I was surprised. Mm-hmm. I think they were playing, or they kind of led me to believe something as it was starting and as it was moving along. And then kind of went in a different direction. I really appreciated that aspect of it. And, of course, there were some very good moments of performances in it. Mm-hmm. But whether or not it's something that I would put up and say, I love this as being my most favorite thing ever, that's not my kind of thing, so yeah.
Would you buy the DVD of it? You have it already, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's on Amazon Prime, so I hadn't really had to think about it for a while. But
okay.
probably not. I wouldn't go out of my way to do that, so.
Like Marvel movies, you buy them automatically because you want them and you want to watch them whenever.
Right.
So.
Which is, I guess, part of what I mean is that's something that I know that I'm going to want to do at some point. Mm-hmm. Whereas most horror movies, I'm not usually that way. So.
Like Insidious, I bought 1 and 2 immediately.
Those are, I think, some good special cases. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, once I've unlocked the surprise or whatever's going to happen, and it's kind of like, well, yeah,
yep,
I'll see it again sometime, maybe.
Yeah. So Kyle liked the movie also. Mm-hmm. She has not sent me anything other than I asked her one question. Why the fuck was it called Hereditary? And so her response was, I think they call it, because the gene to carry Satan was passed from moms to the daughters. But then when it went to the son, because the daughter died. If I have some time today, I'll jot down some thoughts. Apparently she didn't have time. That's perfectly fine. I knew she had an event tonight, so that's...
Yeah. Well, that could make sense with the Toni Collette's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, did you...
And him killing himself instead.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Jessica, did you feel like you had a definitive answer of
Why
what
it
the
was
title
called
meant?
Hereditary. Yeah,
You know,
I remember.
I have my thought on it now, maybe, but...
I went home, well, after I went home from Jessica's, like 2 or 3 hours later, I was still thinking about it. I sent her a text message or a Facebook Messenger message. Why was it called Hereditary?
Well, I think one of the reasons why I wanted to rewatch some of it before we started talking was because once you said that, I thought I knew, but then I was like, wait, did that? But, you know, so I needed to refresh myself on a couple of things. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, part of it, I think it's all in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see that being a justification. Like, they uniquely have the ability to do this under the right conditions. And that's passed down.
Yeah.
Or the grandma chose to pass it down. Oh my gosh. Dropped it.
That was a bead
It would have been
That-
gone
that-
forever. I'm like, not the cat. No.
that caused that level of panic.
Sorry,
Actually,
I'm
all right,
making-
no, that is
Making extraneous noise that I should not be making on this podcast.
that actually is a good concern of Chio will try to eat everything. I think she's ignores most beads now.
Yeah,
but,
she doesn't give a shit about beads. She
That's
never
good.
has.
Oh yeah, what you were starting to say, the thing about the grandmother choosing
Yeah.
to pass it down was my thought on it, really.
Yeah, like inheritance as opposed to
Yes,
hereditary.
forcibly hereditary.
Yeah.
Like
This
I'm gonna,
is yours now.
yeah.
Have it. Enjoy this.
Boom.
Do you think that it ever resided in the grandmother?
No. I think she was the one that called it.
Hmm.
And she wanted to use that. She would call it and she would put it into the son. But she wanted to put it in the son, but she
He
didn't.
thwarted her.
Yeah, the mom thwarted her by not letting her get her hooks into that
Oh,
one.
I meant
Yes.
her son.
Oh,
Her
The
son
brother.
thwarted her.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
the brother.
the uncle,
Yeah.
I guess. But we're just like throwing all these
yeah.
family names.
Well, that's even better. It's like her brother killed himself, so she got thwarted there.
And
And
then
now-
it could have
Mhm.
jumped
Mhm.
to the next generation.
Yeah.
Because he clearly isn't
And
having
waited.
any kids.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we're not going to fuck it up now.
Yeah.
Now that my daughter's let me back into her sort
Yeah.
of good
And so it
graces.
went into Charlie, which, oh well, poor
You
thing.
know how that worked out.
Yeah.
So
Like-
it seems like you both read something about the actual demon.
Yes.
Why would these people want to do this? Like, what was the grandmother getting out of doing this?
What'd they
Was
say?
wondering.
Riches and power.
Riches and power, a familiar.
Hmm.
Like, Chio, do my bidding. Yeah, and she does my bidding.
Hmm.
Loyal and most powerful familiars is what they said in the thing.
Yeah, and power over men.
Power over men.
Were we seeing any of that?
Same stuff you always want, right? Riches and power.
And were we seeing any evidence of that? I mean, what was the pet? I mean, we saw the dead dog at the end or something. What was that from? I don't remember.
They had a dog. They must have killed
Yeah,
it.
they killed it.
But,
Because it was barking at him at
Yeah.
some point.
so the familiar would be like the witch's familiar. Like a cat or whatever. Kind of like in Harry Potter, Hermione has Crookshanks, and Crookshanks seems to be a little bit smarter than your average. Same with Hedwig.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying it's odd that we didn't really see like something like.
Well, they
something
didn't
with an
really
animal.
focus on the witches, on the women that were women and men that were doing this ritual until the end. You didn't see them until the very, very end.
Feels like this would sort of open it up to like a paranormal activity kind of franchise. If there being a prequel or sequel to this at some point, then we would see why people would want to do that, or the previous generation or the next one or something. I don't know how familiar you are, Jessica, with that other.
Paranormal Activity.
I've seen like 3 of them.
It takes about that long for them to start getting into the witchcraft aspect of that, but it's actually kind of similar.
So yeah,
Would you want them to do that?
No.
like continue on.
Yeah.
I think it's good ending where it is. Because you're like, what's going to happen? Oh
right.
no.
All hail, Paimon.
This can't be good.
That's-
Fuck.
and fade out. So yeah. So what?
It faded out into like some pretty chipper music there.
Yeah. Seen it now from both sides now. That's the song.
And we're sued.
Gotta do
shit.
10 seconds of it.
You can cut it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
I would have kind of liked to have at least seen. I know how cheesy it would be, but maybe a little grin or something from the guy. Maybe it's because his face was broken, but he just didn't really seem to give that much of a shit about being there.
I feel like he
That
might have
point.
been in shock still.
Yeah, like sensory overload.
Yeah.
Because,
Like, the whole-
this is my body now.
I mean, he made it up into a tree house. He probably got the hang of it by then. He probably should have like, hey, you put a crown on my head and
Well,
thanks for
do
bowing,
we think
guys.
he was... Do you think he was Peter, or do you think that was just Paimon?
that's a very good question, isn't it?
Mhm.
I mean, are they still fighting for control? Because he was still pretty blank.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
See, that's the thing is, and when I was reading the synopsis, and I think you read something also, that was Peter. Peter died when he jumped out the window, and I don't think that was high enough for him to die. I mean, he didn't even really to try. I mean, yeah, we have a nurse here, so she could tell us a little bit more about it. But
Well, I guess the idea is, could the body even be inhabited if it had already been, if he'd already died? Wouldn't it have been just
Probably not.
useless?
Maybe.
'Cause-
I mean, or if he's just like on the edge there,
Mhm.
down at the bottom.
Because otherwise, why wouldn't they just use a corpse to do all these things instead of?
because gross.
I think they need his corpse.
Yeah.
When, in other words, so they could have just killed him on any number of occasions and put it in there. So it probably did have to be some kind of living.
Okay, so
But
this
he
is
has
her
to
grandchild.
be-
She kind of loved him, so
I think the point is the host has to be vulnerable to...
yeah.
And he was not vulnerable enough yet.
Until-
Because everything they target him at, like they target him at school and all of that stuff to get him rattled. But I don't think he's quite vulnerable enough yet. And Toni Collette's breaking point is when her husband dies.
Yeah.
Instead of her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Paimon's like, shoop,
Hello.
hi, I'm here.
Yes.
No.
Click.
Yeah. You can like hear the click when her eyes change. You're like,
Yeah.
Click,
Well,
grab
I was trying. I can't do that. I can't do
You
that.
can't click your
I can't click my tongue.
So the
Can't do it. I have a tongue ring also, so that might stop me from
oh
getting
god,
getting
that would do
feel.
it. You need to.
So anyway. Oh
Excuse me.
no! All that hot chocolate.
Oh, it got me good.
So, what didn't we like in this movie? Talked about all the things we really liked. Did we? Have we talked about
Yeah,
something
I mean, I
else?
think
Yeah.
we were all kind of going through the things that were good about it.
I mean, I could see people not liking that it's not explained thoroughly, but that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
I felt like they did a good enough job of walking us through some of it at the end. And she did come right out and explain some of it to her husband before he refused to put the book, in the
Immolated
fire.
himself? Yeah.
Yeah. I can guess some of the
Accidentally.
things.
She did it to him because
Accidentally,
she
yeah.
threw the thing in
So I just throw it in there.
whoosh,
Whoosh.
thinking she'd be the one that got him.
That was that actually kind of made me laugh at the time when that just
She was
the,
like,
the twist of like, whoops.
You thought.
I mean, some of the pace at times, that was probably my only complaint, but it was all right. I can guess one of Marianne's negatives.
Go ahead. Tell me what it is.
It was, I think, in your own words, old woman titties and keen.
So he goes up.
That dick.
He goes and he's like, it's when Peter is just beginning to realize something's happening. He's woken up. He's got a broken nose. Everything's happening. It's like, hi, you want to see some old lady titties? How about some old man peen? We got a lot of it. Just
I'm ready.
stay tuned because we're going to have some more. And so then he's walking out after he is got Paimon in him, and he's walking to the treehouse. Tons of peen and titties. Oh, we forgot about the one that was in the attic. There's like a couple.
That's the one who was waving at him.
Yeah, the three of them are like
creepily waving.
Yeah, the old lady was creepily waving, but at the very end, when they're doing the dramatic pull away shot, everyone is kind of down on their knees. Oh. There is one guy that has got his ass full up in the air.
He's ready, all right, to worship his Lord. But
it's like everyone else is not doing that position, so that's like a definite acting choice for him.
Maybe it's muscle memory or something.
Maybe he's too fat to kneel properly.
He looked like the skinniest of them, though. That was the thing. I didn't see
his butt up in the air.
Maybe his arms are getting too tired.
You rewind. If you kneel like that, your arms aren't even doing anything because they're all like this. And he's like,
maybe he's got a bad hip, Marianne.
I don't give a fuck what he's doing. He's got a bad hip or what? He's presenting when he doesn't need to be presenting. Anyway,
that's his goal.
I will, maybe he wants to have this ass scene in every movie he's in. I don't know. But I'm going to take a screenshot of that. And so we all can see this. And because, gosh darn it. That's my narrative. I'm all for all forms of the female form. When it comes to men, on the other hand, I don't want to see penis. I never do. I'm sorry. Gross. So, yes. Everyone else have anything?
I just want to know how many miniature artists there are.
And how do I get in that fucking job?
Yeah, like what has she done in her life to be able to have that job? I mean, clearly, like, she works hard at it. Yeah. She's doing it the whole time. But I'm just like, how do you get to this position in life?
Yeah, that's your job.
I'm impressed.
So, that's the kind of job that I would want. I'd be like, great. I don't have to be a scrum master anymore. I can sit at my house and fiddle fuck around with miniatures and like make all these little tiny things. Sign me the fuck up for that.
That looks pretty stressful. At least in
oh my gosh,
the movie.
She'd have
her goggle thing I think she has to wear.
Her OCD-ness probably helps her with that. Her neuroses.
Yeah, and the fact that she makes them of her life too. Yeah. Like that's how she channels her.
Yeah. Here's my mom dying in her room. Here's my daughter dead. Here's the pole that it hit.
Yeah, and her husband's like, what the fuck? What do you think our son's gonna think when he sees this? And she's like, what? It's an objective view of the accident.
I mean, that one made me laugh at the time too.
With like an extremely tall, disproportionately tall telephone pole.
I was like, what is happening?
But she's like, it's just... And I was like, this is clearly how she processes complex emotions is by making a miniature. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, oh god.
The thing that made the thing that made the professional aspect of that stand out to me were the calls she kept getting from a client or some manager or somebody.
Curator.
Like,
yeah.
Hey, we just want to see it.
Picture?
Just we don't care how. Just want to see a progress shot. Just we won't judge.
Can
just
you
want to see.
Imagine having to be the person to make that phone call. Yeah. Like
we are so
fucking sorry
about your daughter, but
I have to ask you this question.
Can you give me this?
How far are you?
Yeah.
I would hate to be the one that was like given that task.
Yeah.
And there was just that point where she was just Tony smash and just cave in the roof of the thing.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just I think she messed up a little chair or something. Was just like
fuck it all. Just done.
Yeah. Emotions.
Yeah.
I just could see that happening to you at some point, though.
I wouldn't destroy the whole thing. No, that would not be. I would destroy the one little chair by accident, and then just have a meltdown someplace else because I wouldn't want to destroy all my work. That's how I am. Because I understand progress. One chair does not mean I destroy all of the fucking chairs. So, what do we have coming up that we need to talk about? Oh, we need a score first. So, what would you rate this? Scariness factor and entertainment value. Keith, why don't you start?
There were a couple things that were startling. I mean, certainly that's probably one of the more startling decapitations I've ever witnessed in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not even really graphically showing it. It's just the idea of what just happened there. Because I was like...
Piano wire?
Oh, God, that too. But I'm talking about even just the little girl.
Oh, the little girl.
In the
okay.
car. I mean, you're like, oh, she's fine. They're not going to do... What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it's on the higher end, 7-ish, 8-ish.
That's horror factor.
Yeah, especially for just the scale of anything affecting me at all is going to put something up there. God, this second time through, just watching her try to saw through her neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was good. I like that one. That's one of my favorite scenes. And the head being banged on the thing. It's like, how is she that tall to do that? Oh, she's floating again, and she's just banging her head on the door to the attic.
There is some rewatch value in it, certainly, because it just as we were just even doing it today before this, there's stuff to get out of it. Mm-hmm. So probably around 7.
So 7 and 7.
Yeah, it feels like it should be 7.5 each.
Okay, 7.5 each.
At least it might go up or down, but probably more up.
Okay.
I think about it.
What about you?
Entertainment-wise, I was at like a 9. Scare factor-wise, this might sound strange, but some of the stuff I wouldn't necessarily call horror, but it is horrifying.
Yeah.
Like her getting decapitated and him having to deal with it.
Yeah.
Watching him go into shock is horrifying because of my own emotions.
Yeah. You have a brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so horror factor, I'd say like 6. 6.5.
I would expect it to be higher. I mean, if it's something that would make you cry like that, or you can feel it, that would be like just...
The shock.
Yeah.
Gut punch. I'm like, Jason! That's my brother's name. Jason! I'm sorry, I haven't even done anything. I'm so sorry. I love you.
You have 2 sisters. What would you think? How would you feel if you accidentally rammed one of their heads into one bed?
I can't. That sounds like something I would... Like a nightmare I might have had at some point or another. Just... It's,
beheading your sisters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had a nightmare once about my brother dying. Mm-hmm. He got eaten by one of those, cartoon bookworms that live in apples, you know?
Okay,
they have the little and the glasses. It grew, sharp teeth and ate my brother, and I woke up, crying. I was like, oh, my brother! I remember it to this day.
Yeah, I think that it did a good job of tapping into that feeling of just watching his face during that entire thing of just, there's just nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. And that is, yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I never got that. I never got the sense that everything was fine. I was just like he couldn't do...
No, he says that. He's it's fine. And then he, drives off.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He actually said it's fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything's fine.
Because he kept trying to calm her down. It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. You're fine. You know when you say that when you see a kid fall. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh,
and he
I
kept
totally
saying
missed
that.
him say
And then
that.
as soon as it happened and he looked back, he's like, you're fine. You're fine. I think that was just...
Yeah, he's just like, it's fine. And he drives off.
Mm-hmm. So...
But it wasn't fine.
It wasn't fine. And what was your entertainment value?
9.
Oh, you said 9. Okay. For me, I'd say horror is... I am an only child, so I can't really...
This didn't affect you at all. You were just like, eh.
I mean...
Fuck that.
I can't put myself in that place, Keith. I don't have any... I mean, I know I have people that I care about, and I would be devastated if I ran their head into a...
I'm going to go up to a 7, because also Toni Collette's screams.
Yeah. Oh. That was really good.
I think that specific relationships or the need to have them are overrated, and trying to estimate like how bad something is or is not. You know, people say things you can't possibly understand unless blah blah blah.
You have a child of your own,
or a sibling, or you know.
I mean, I have empathy, so therefore I can understand.
Right.
Yeah.
I am torn with this because I do have empathy, but I was not. The only thing that affected me emotionally was the mother crying. I want to die, that type of thing. That when she was crying like that affected me because I have kind of felt that pain before when my mom passed away, and it's hard. So I totally understood that and was like, she is doing something great right there. Mm-hmm. And so for horror factor with the different types of beheadings and all that stuff, I'm going to say 5 or 6. Entertainment value, well, it's not my cup of tea. There was a lot of things that I liked all the acting. I liked the music. I liked, just because the story didn't make it for me, I'm going to say it's 6 or 7, but everything else was great. So, yeah. So I can objectively see that it was a good movie. It just wasn't for me. So what do we have to talk about that we have coming up? So this will be the 19th. So this will be right before our Zoomathon.
Pub that.
Okay.
I don't have anything else.
Are you in Happy Pills?
No.
Okay.
Keith is.
Yeah.
Okay. Say something. I'm not doing it.
I would have to look up the dates, but Happy
March.
Pills is it's starting early March. We're doing another full length at Mad Lab, which I am in. It's called Happy Pills. It's one of the I think like the end of the sci-fi series essentially. There's sci-fi season at Mad Lab, and it is a post-apocalyptic play about emotionless people relying on drugs to give them emotions. I guess something happened to them.
Post-apocalyptic type
Yes.
thing.
Yep.
Cool. Anything you want to talk about Audible? Your normal stuff?
Oh, nothing you haven't already heard. Just go to audible.com and search for J. Keith Jackson, or of course you can go to my Facebook page, J. Keith Jackson, and you can find links to the things I've done.
So Jessica and I, on February 22nd at the Reynoldsburg United Methodist Church, we are doing a Shake It for Teal Zoomathon. We will be dancing for 90 minutes. You can get tickets at ocao.org. Go to the events page, click on the event on February 2nd. You can buy tickets there. They're $8. Or if you happen to see Jessica or I anywhere, we have some actual physical tickets that we can give you for $8 measly bucks. We want to fill up this gymnasium. It's an amazing gym. We'll have silent auctions. We'll have door prizes. We'll have all this fun stuff. I'm hoping we can get Keith to dance with us at least for one song. And
Yeah, Keith.
I think it'll be pretty fun.
I keep forgetting to say, well, I mean, in case there are first-time listeners, we don't usually point out that we are in Columbus, Ohio, which would help to know if you were looking for these kinds of local events we're doing. Like, Mad Lab is in downtown Columbus, and Reynoldsburg is also in
Suburb
Ohio.
of Columbus.
Yes.
So, yeah. So we're hoping to get Keith to dance at least one or two of our songs. We have some fun ones that we're planning. We'd love to see you there. This is all for ovarian cancer awareness. It all benefits the Ovarian Cancer Alliance of Ohio, of which I am one of the board members on it. So we would love to see you there. Again, don't forget to like, comment, react to any of this. Let us know what you thought about Hereditary. That would be awesome if we could hear from you. Also, like us on Facebook. Like us on Twitter. We're at Macabre Review. And Macabre_review. Something like that. I'll fix that in post. Marianne's Macabre Review on Facebook. We have nothing on Instagram, so you don't have to worry about us there. So
That's a relief for you. That you don't have to.
There's another thing you don't have to follow. So, anywho, That's all I have. Everybody have a great night or day or whenever you're listening to this. Enjoy it. Bye.
Well, we are individually on Instagram, just not as the show itself.
Exactly.
Bye.
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 It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?